Number one Ibble Dibble here. Hello, friends, and welcome back for more from the Prince Harry Tom Bradby ITV interview from hell. Number 21. Harry does not understand the difference between the institution and the individual, the popularity of the institution versus the popularity of the individual. Harry is the only member of the royal family, apart from his own wife, who doesn't seem to get that. He doesn't seem to understand that for the institution to be highly esteemed, each of its main players needs to be highly regarded. There's room for a black sheep. But more than a little delinquent behavior and people start turning Republican. Any employees who play dirty, as Harry puts it, get sacked. Charles's personal secretary, who went too far, planting against Diana, sacked. Camilla's secretary, who leaked the details of her first meetings with William, sacked. If people are leaking extremely unflattering things about your wife, Harry, consider who and why. Maybe it's not your father and his wife.
Within my family, you have the newspapers laid out pretty much in every single palace house that is around. So it creates this competition. And if you're the new kids on the block and you come in and you're stealing the limelight, just as much as William and Kate suffered from my father and stepmother or their office, the very thing that William and Kate had experienced from Pa and Camilla happened to us and happened from William and Kate's office as well.
All of these accusations of his family planting against him, I don't believe them because it would not be good for the institution.
But somehow in that, apparently the same experience that they had had, William and Kate, wasn't happening to us.
They're not gaslighting you, Harry. Your wife is. Number 22, Harry insists William negatively stereotyped and judged Meghan before he ever even knew her.
American actress, divorced, biracial, there's all different parts to that and what that can mean.
But also admits William never dissuaded him from marrying her?
No, he never tried to dissuade me from marrying Meghan, but he aired some concerns very early on and said, this is going to be really hard for you. And I still to this day don't truly understand which part of what he was talking about.
Which is it? The obvious answer is he doesn't care. And that's why he didn't ask for an explanation or elaboration. He doesn't think William is a better judge of character than he is. And he's wrong. And that's no crime. We've all dated someone or befriended someone or taken a job against the advice of a good friend we've known a long time and generally trusted a lot. The difference with Harry is that he then thinks it's okay to malign William's intent after the fact. It's not. Harry, you're being a really bad brother. Which brings me to take 23. Harry is disobeying probably the number one law of siblinghood, which is to always be honest with each other, even when nobody else is willing to.
Meg's difficult, he said. Oh, really? She's rude, she's abrasive, she's alienated half the staff. Not the first time he'd parroted the press narrative. Duchess difficult, all that bullshit.
Harry, not only is William your older brother who loves you, feels responsible for you, particularly after your mother's death, but he also has, or had anyway, a material stake in your success. He wouldn't have brought it up to you at all if it wasn't a really disruptive problem. These are not the words people use to mock other people. If he wanted to mock Meghan, he could have called her a windbag, a harpy, a hippie, mutton dressed as lamb, a plague on both your houses, etc. If he wanted to parrot unflattering press, he could have called her a Z-list actress, from the wrong side of the tracks, past her prime. He wasn't saying those things because he was voicing genuine, urgent concerns and hoping, trusting that you would address them. But now, years later, you still can't even accept that those concerns were completely legitimate. It was hard for you. It was hard for her. It didn't work out. He was right. You give him zero credit because you're completely blinded by pride and selfishness. Which brings me to number 24. In Harry's world, other people must be held accountable for the reactions they inspire and the results they affect. But Harry and Meghan are only accountable for their intentions, which of course they can characterize however they like.
I pulled away, refused to meet his gaze. He forced me to look into his eyes. Listen to me, Harold. Listen. I love you, Harold. I want you to be happy. The words flew out of my mouth. I love you too, but your stubbornness is extraordinary. And yours isn't. I pulled away again. He grabbed me again, twisting me to maintain eye contact. Harold, you must listen to me. I just want you to be happy, Harold. I swear on Mummy's life. He stopped. I stopped. Pa stopped. He'd gone there. He'd used the secret code, the universal password. Ever since we were boys, those 3 words were to be used only in times of extreme crisis. On Mummy's life. For nearly 25 years, we'd reserved that soul-crushing vow for times when one of us needed to be heard, to be believed quickly, for times when nothing else would do. It stopped me cold, as it was meant to. Not because he'd used it, but because it didn't work. I simply didn't believe him.
So, despite a lifetime of evidence otherwise, despite William specifically stating twice over that he had purely good intentions, despite William using family code language, indicating the urgency and pure intent of his statement, Harry chooses to believe that William is actually, all of a sudden, today, out of the blue, a liar seeking to misguide him with bad, unstated motives. Who knows? Jealousy, racism, failure to think for himself are just a few of the reasons Harry has stated in these interviews. Because believing William would mean not having his way. Yet Harry can tell all of these stories about William, cast all of these aspersions on William, knowing full well that William can never answer for them. Why? Because he says his intentions are good. This is a very convenient double standard, always employed by narcissists. Bringing me to point 25. Harry has never considered how transparent his projection onto William is. Jealousy? Racism? Inability to think for himself? Sounds familiar. The whole dog bowl story is supposed to make us believe that William is so angry and simple-minded, he tries to goad Harry into fighting.
Come on, hit me. You'll feel better if you hit me. Do what? Come on, we always used to fight. You'll feel better if you hit me. No, only you'll feel better if I hit you. Please, just leave. He left the kitchen, but he didn't leave Not Cop. He was in the sitting room, I could tell. I stayed in the kitchen. 2 minutes passed, 2 long minutes. He came back looking regretful and apologized. He walked to the front door. This time I followed. Before leaving, he turned and called back. You don't need to tell Meg about this. You mean that you attacked me? I didn't attack you, Harold. Fine. I won't tell her.
Harry, trying to goad your brother into a fight, offer insincere, lukewarm non-apologies, demand he cover for your bad behavior, then deny you ever behaved badly at all? Sounds like what you've been doing for the past how many years? Well, riddle me that. This obscene projection also explains why Harry preemptively accuses William of leaking private conversations before they've even happened. Is this not what Harry intends to do if ever given the chance? Number 26.
The truth is something that I need to rely on. Well, the truth, supposedly at the moment, has been there's only one side to this story. I have to rely on the truth.
Maybe if you say that 3 more times, but clicking your heels together, you'll get to the truth, Harry. 27. He seems to believe that only he and Meghan know what's wrong with the royal family and how to fix it.
But there's a way through it. There's a way out of it. And that's what I'm focused on now.
How so?
And I made a choice to right that wrong.
How so?
I wanted to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem.
How so?
And that has taken a lot of hard work.
How so? Number 28, he's still such a child. He doesn't understand why he's not the most important thing in his family, in the UK, in the world at large, at certain points in time.
In my mind, and I think globally people felt the same, was a really good opportunity to bring the family together. But the day that she died was just a really, really horrible reaction from my family members.
Yeah, sometimes you're not the top priority, Harry. Maybe you can fly out at a less awful time. Number 29.
The distorted narrative is that we wanted to leave to go and, make money. We were dedicated to a life of service, as is proven by everything that we're doing now with the work that we do.
What work? Seriously, what work? He gives 0 examples because he can't. They funded an NAACP award related to media that they can choose the recipient of, furthering their own war against the media. They provide grants worth less than $50,000 each to fewer than 20 charitable institutions in any given year. At their income level, that is not charity, that is tax management. They are donating the maximum deductible amount and no more. And they seem to only do it to have something to mention on their blog once a month. They keep backpacks with crackers in them in the car to toss at roadside homeless when there's a reporter around. But you notice they've never been seen doing this outside of that cut interview. Everything else they do is pay for play, where the charity involved pays all their expenses and a huge appearance fee, hoping to make it back and then some in donations garnered through the publicity H&M can command. They're a gamble, not a gift. And last for today, number 30, Harry is so arrogant he does not realize that condescending to journalists does him no favors. It's not a good look, Harry. It doesn't make you look smart. It doesn't make you look special. It makes you look rude.
Quite a list of things, assumptions that you're making, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying I think that would be the counter-narrative on the other side, that this isn't the truth, that the truth is more nuanced, and all the rest of it, right? That would be the defense.
Well, the truth, supposedly, at the moment has been there's only one side to this story, right? But there's 2 sides to every story.
When Tom says he would think or they would think, he is a journalist serving as a vessel for the public interest. More specifically, an experienced interviewer, an experienced live televised interviewer who very likely can accurately predict such reactions, not an individual personally challenging you. Unlike you, his entire identity is not wrapped up in his job title or lack of job title, as the case may be. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for listening to my latest rant. Toodles! Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.